perception of things, the way that you take in information and process it and give it your own spin, the way that you there's so much information out there and there's so many thoughts. So really, one of the strongest things that we have as humans is the ability to interpret them, process them, regurgitate them, whatever. You ever talk to someone and you kind of have this feeling like, man, that person's already dead? I don't mean like some zombie shit. And I think that the reason why lately we've been in such a zombie apocalypse with like The Walking Dead and all these zombies, sit down, all these zombie movies and the zombie concepts is because, in a way, a lot of people already are dead, and that's what zombies are. It's people that are dead, but they're still alive, and that's kind of it's kind of a sad thing if you think about it, man. It's kind of a real sad thing because, you know, this Earth is fucking awesome. Do you realize that Earth is awesome? Do you realize that, yeah, like a lot of times when you're kids or whatever, you find out that, you know, we're part of a city, part of a state, part of, you know, as you span out, you realize that, you know, we are really, really tiny on Earth. But then when you span out and you know, read these books and stuff like that, what we come to find is that the Earth is like a grain of sand in the whole galaxy. And so you get this feeling that I'm like, oh my God, we are so small in the whole scheme of things. What's the fucking point? And then you realize that we, as people from Earth, we've traveled to other planets and we haven't found any civilizations or food chains or things where these living organisms become the shit. So we're in the nucleus or the hub of it. And even if you look at Joe Rogan was talking about this, like if you're flying on a plane and you're going into a major city, look outside and you'll notice that there's not a whole lot going on. But then once you get into major cities and it becomes more populated, it almost looks like diseases. So what are we in this whole grand scheme of things? And why do us humans think that we're the shit when really we are just the top people on the food chain, and the only thing that we really have is why do humans run the shit? Lions are way stronger, sharks are way stronger, you know what I mean? And honestly, if they group together, they could probably take us over. And I know it sounds like some ridiculous stone shit, and I'm not stoned. I'm actually completely sober. As you guys know, I do some drinking, and I do some drinking to celebrate how fucking awesome life is. I don't drink because I'm depressed. And also a lot of times people are going, oh my God, Blade, you're drinking a lot more lately. And it's like, no, I'm actually drinking less than before. Taking it easy. I usually drink once or twice a week now. And obviously it's not good, and obviously it's a problem, and no one wants to see Blade being some drunk asshole. I get that. I understand that, man. But I look at it as like a celebration thing. Do I have a problem with it? Not really. But it's definitely something I need to kind of, you know, look at. With these seconds, minutes, hours, days, weeks, months, and years, as everything gets expanded, the only thing that we really have as humans is our soul. Okay? Eventually, like let's say you're a physical being and you work out, you do all kind of stuff. That's cool and all. That's going to take care of a little bit of time here on Earth that we have. But really your soul and really your interpretation and your absorption of people, of other people's thoughts, of other people's and relationships that you have with friends and family and stuff like that, that adds to the seasoned makeup of your soul. Earlier in the commentary, I really wanted to kind of focus on this thing. It said, have you ever talked to someone and you thought, man, they're already dead? And what I mean by that is they may be physically, technically alive. You know, they may be technically alive. They're breathing, they're walking around, whatever. But like in the whole scheme of things, in the whole everything out, they're pretty much just on a waiting list to pass. And I've said this before, my two biggest fears are dying, because Because think about that. Think about just going to sleep and then not waking up. And it's kind of a scary thing that I just say, hey, let's not deal with that right now. Let's just continue to live, you know. I did a Sunday Chill commentary several years ago during my Grand Theft Auto playthrough, and it was called Death Reminds You to Live or whatever. And the thing is that we have to take that we know is so important is that the way that it's impossible to process everything. So we get to choose what we process. We get to choose what we intake. We get to choose how we live our life. And if you're a shitty person, then it is what it is. But at the same time, I think that what makes people interesting is how they interpret and how they process and how they regurgitate life. How do you intake your life? How do you, you know, while you're here, are you trying to live to 90 and be bored out of your gourd? Or are you trying to live to 60 and have an amazing time? And I've often thought about that. But the thing is that just like when you go in and you watch a long, boring ass movie, right? You watch a long, boring ass movie, eventually you're going to get to the point where the credits come, and one of my fears is that when the credits start rolling on the movie that I call life, I'll be like, no, I still want to kick it. I still want to be in. Put me in, coach. I'm good. No, don't worry about it. I know that I can't move, and I'm starting to get delusional. I don't care, man. Just keep me in the game of life. So think about that, man. And then which it blows my mind because there's people that take it for granted, and people that are already dead. They're just on a waiting list, you know. You ever see how depressed, people are asking me, they're like, Blade, you're 32, man, you should probably start thinking about settling down and having kids, stuff like that. And the thing is that once I have children, then my entire focus is to make sure that kid has every opportunity available in life so he can live or she can live a happy, amazing life. But really, that's kind of scary because you're like going, you know what? I'm going to stop living. What I'm going to do is, now that I got this new vessel of life, which is a form of me, I have to make sure that he or she is taken care of, fed, doesn't electrocute themselves, and just focus on that. And then what if I have a kid with a fucking cunt of a mother? And cunt's a very strong word, but, you know, what if that person I went half on a baby with is a shitty person? You know the whole term oh, I love the part where getting to know you. Well, getting to know someone, sometimes you realize, hey, that's a shitty person. And I've come to realize that getting to know people is cool. And finding people, I don't want to say that are like-minded, but finding people that can stimulate you emotionally and, what is the other word? Intelligently stimulate you, that's a rare find, man. And so, you're a beautiful snowflake, I get it. How do you process information? And really at the point when you just basically just process it and nothing happens, then you're already dead, you're just waiting in line. Depression alert! Just kidding. ONLYUSEmeBLADE, peace and butt grease. That has been a Sunday Chill.